the learning assessment CPS2, and towards the end we will keep 15 to 20 minutes so that we could have a discussion regarding your doubts. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible to all of you? Soumya, should we start now? Or should we wait for other students? I think who are not present, they will listen to our video, which will be recorded by you. Okay?
Yes, sir. Please proceed.
Sujata wants to join. Admit. Srikant sir is also there. Sir, good afternoon, sir. Sir, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Sir, namaskar, sir. Sir, am I audible to you, sir? Sir, am I audible to you? So, friends, I think we should start Unit 2 of CPS2, that is learning assessment. Okay? We have had a discussion regarding the meaning of assessment. That is assessment for learning. The Unit 2 deals with assessment for learning. Okay? And we have clearly dealt with the meaning of assessment, meaning, importance, and purpose. But at the outset, let me just discuss, just refresh your memory so that you could remind those matters that we had discussed before 2 or 3 months before the lockdown. So, good afternoon, friends. I think you all are okay in this critical juncture of COVID-19, and you will be in safe mode, and I think you all are in your study and preparing for your career. Okay? So, as you know, assessment for learning. Assessment, there are 3 concepts: assessment for learning, assessment of learning, and assessment as learning. So it is pertinent here to discuss about the meaning of assessment. Previously, we were using the term evaluation, measurement, but now we want to use most frequently a term that is assessment. Okay? So what assessment is? Assessment is different from evaluation. Assessment is a process, but evaluation is a product. Assessment deals with deals with the process of collecting data, tabulating data, and on the basis of data, so that the data would help us to take a decision. Okay? And evaluation, the word evaluation or the term evaluation deals with value judgment. That is, it is judgmental in nature. It is a product. Okay? It is a product. But assessment is a process. And evaluation is a broader term under which comes your assessment, under which comes your measurement. Okay? Measurement is in quantifiable form. Measurement relates to quantification of the data. Okay? And assessment is both qualitative and quantitative. And when a judgment is to be decided, a judgment is to be taken at the time we go for evaluation. Okay? So friends, this is in short, this is the very meaning of assessment. The student is assessee, the teacher is assessor. Okay? And in this process, in this teaching learning process, many things happen. Okay? So I want to discuss about the formative assessment. The word formative means formation of the knowledge. When the knowledge or the concept is formed in the formation stage, at that time we do formative assessment. During the teaching learning process in a classroom, the teacher just goes on discussing different critical matters, different concepts, difficult concepts. And in this way, there is the need of the assessment. The teacher goes on asking different questions. When the teacher takes the class, many questions are asked. The students also ask questions. The teacher gives the answer. The students give the answer. The teacher asks questions. The students give the answer. Okay? So friends, in this way, assessment is a continuous process, and when it is being continued, when it is continuing inside the classroom during the transaction of the teaching learning process, at the time it is known as formative evaluation. Okay? Or formative assessment. And you know, formative assessment is an ongoing process. For example, where the teacher, after finishing 1 or 2 units, when he conducts a test, say unit test, it is a kind of formative assessment. And there is a chance in the formative assessment. There is a chance of just correcting the mistakes, improving the standard of the child in the formative assessment. And there is another term we are now going to discuss, that is continuous with learning and comprehensive, continuous comprehensive learning. Assessment should be continuous comprehensive. You must have heard the term CCA, that is continuous comprehensive assessment. Okay? So assessment need not be related to the cognitive domain only. It should be related to the cognitive, affective, and psychomotor domain. We should not always stick on the cognitive aspect, content aspect, the materials, the teaching learning materials only. Rather, education is a vast term, and if a child wants to be fully educated, he or she needs to just develop a full personality. Okay? In this way, assessment continues. Assessment continues. And other things, for example, one of the aspects of personality is cleanliness. This cannot be quantitatively assessed. For this, the teacher has to use different non-testing techniques. In this way, the teacher has to test the nails, the dress of the students, so that the cleanliness aspect would be taken into consideration. In this way, the assessment needs to be continuous. It should not be stopped. Whenever you ask a question, whenever we teach to the students, the students need to ask questions. If the teacher is not if the student asks question to the teacher and the teacher doesn't give answer, then there is no teaching learning process. Real teaching learning process doesn't go there. So in this way, the teacher should evaluate himself or herself, his or her behavior in the classroom. If he is asked more questions, then yes, the students are in the process of learning. So assessment should be a continuous process. Assessment should not be related to your topic, content, subject area, cognitive area. Rather, it should be related and it should be spreaded to other domains like affective domain, psychomotor domain. If the child is, if we just develop good qualities in a child, how to just help the poor, how to be perfect in the life, how to be self-dependent, how to be independent in the life. All these are the qualities are to be taken into consideration by the teachers. And for this, continuous and comprehensive evaluation is needed. Comprehensive means very vast type of evaluation must not be just sticked, must not be related to the cognitive domain only. What we think, the common man thinks that assessment is just related to examination. Assessment is the achievement means the result. It is evident from the result of the child. Result means annual examination result, half yearly examination result, all these. But the evaluation or the assessment is a broader term that it touches every aspect of the human child. That means the cognitive aspect, the affective aspect, the psychomotor aspect. Okay? If the child is able to do different things, is able to conduct an experiment himself, then yes, the child is acquiring the knowledge practically. Okay? So assessment needs to be continuous and comprehensive. Continuous means it is not just stopped after 6 months, or annual examination is not the answer to your educational assessment. There should be assessment in each and every time of the class. Okay, so assessment needs to be very much comprehensive in nature. That means it should just cross the boundary, the traditional boundary of cognitive aspects, and it should be very much related to the psychomotor and affective domain. Other qualities, personality qualities, cleanliness, punctuality, cleanliness, respect to the elders, respect to the parents, and just thinking positively. All these life skills are to be germinated in the students, and these are to be also assessed and evaluated properly by the teachers. For this, we have to just expand the horizon of the assessment techniques, the scope of the assessment, so that we can assess all this domain perfectly. Okay. And there is another thing, culturally responsive. Assessment is also culturally responsive. Elements from the local culture of the learners are extensively used in the assessment. That means assessment, the teacher should not think that I am the teacher, I will assess the performance of the students, and what I will certify, that will be all that will be very much needed by the child, and it will be given importance in the society. Not the teachers should not think so. Okay, there are many elements in the culture, local culture, and these are to be extensively used. The culture, the community, okay, the community members, the culture in which we are living. These environments just give us a scope to expand the horizon of the assessment. We must assess ourselves. We must assess the personality of the children on the basis of the culture. Okay, the culture also provides very good scope, very good scope for the assessment of the personality of the children. So we must not. We are living in the culture. So culture, we should admit that culture is everything in our life, and we should not avoid this culture. And we are to, for example, Indian culture. We are in an Indian society. We are in an Indian classroom, and our children should be just our children should develop the qualities that are needed in the Indian culture to be a personality in the Indian society. So in this way, the culture is very important, and these aspects are to be taken into consideration by the teacher while doing the assessment. So assessment is not, friends, please remember that assessment is not only related to the what? The cognitive domain only, rather it should cross the border of the four walls of the school and also come to just go to the outside border of the school and also take into different domains, culture, tradition, heritage, and other things of the society. Now, so you may ask me question, sir, what is the relevance of CCA? That is CCA means continuous comprehensive assessment. Continuous comprehensive assessment. What is the need of this? Friends, this is needed because we want to develop a full bloomed personality. The personality is to be fully gloomed and bloomed. Okay? In this way, the students who are just reading, who are bookworms, they may excel in the educational field. They may excel in the scholastic achievement, but in the real life situation, if they will be sent to marketing, if they will be sent to some other fields, sports, other activities, their shirts, their dresses are not clean. They do not show just good behavior to their teachers, elders, family members, parents. In this way, they may excel in achievement, scholastic achievement, but in the non-scholastic area, they are lacking. For this, we have to go for that is CCA, continuous comprehensive assessment. Continuous comprehensive assessment. Assessment should be comprehensive, should be broad in nature. Broad means it should not be related or confined to the scholastic aspect only. Rather, there should be affective domain. Affective means heart. The heart of the child should be built well. There should be feelings. It should be the child should be empathetic, sympathetic towards the happenings of the world, happenings in the society. He shall have to develop a cosmopolitan outlook in his behavior, so that their behavior will be appreciated by other members of the society, and he will be a full-fledged member or citizen of the society. Okay, so this is for this relevance. Due to this, CCA is relevant to the teachers. So after having discussed this, so friends, now just focus something on the tools and techniques of the assessment. Okay, tools and techniques of the assessment. There is a wide range of formal and informal methods of assessment. Informal methods of assessment. So many, that is wide range of formal. What is formal assessment tools? Tools and techniques. Tools means, for example, I want to conduct an interview for the examination, for your practical examination. So the interview, I will just write some questions on that interview schedule. I will prepare an interview schedule, and just with the help of the interview schedule, just I will ask you questions. So the interview schedule is a tool in my hand. Okay, it is a tool in my hand, so that my work of assessing your personality, your achievement becomes easier. Okay, there are many tools. There are a wide range of tools. We'll be discussing about some formal tools like testing, observation schedules, video recordings, etc. These are some formal tools. Testing, that means, what is testing? The tests that we conduct, the tests that are conducted in the schools. Okay, maybe bi-monthly test, maybe just a half-yearly test, maybe yearly test, maybe your semester-wise test. All these are the tests, written tests conducted, written or oral test, whatever you say. Okay, then observation schedule. Observation is of two types: direct observation and indirect observation, or participatory observation and direct observation. For example, the students are playing in the field and the teacher is observing their behavior. Okay, so the teacher is an observer and he is observing the behavior of the child and to find out some remedy of some problems, or to know the personality of the children. In the classroom also, the teacher observes the behavior of the children. But sometimes we have to prepare the observation schedule. Then we will take that schedule and observe the behavior of the students. Okay, and if the teacher just, for example, plays with the students, and in that way the teacher knows the behavior of the students. Okay, but the precaution should be made that he should not, so that the students should not just know that their behavior is being just actively observed by the teacher. Okay, if this will be so, they will just conceal their behavior and no practical result will come out. So this is all about your observation schedule. And video recording, you know it very well. Video recording, I just gave you, the English method students, I gave you a video with regard to the form of the language, characteristic of the language. In this way, a video recording was just posted by me in the YouTube, and you all students, my English method students, observe that. Thank you for that. And that is called video recording. Okay, these are the formal tools, and there are certain informal tools. What are the informal tools? Informal tools means, as I have already spelled some participatory observation. That is an informal tool, and also interviewing. The teacher has to take the notes of the behavior of the students, notes of the achievement of the students, taking notes, and interviewing. You know what is interview? Okay, what is interview? And engaging in activities. Okay, and you see, the best behavior of the children could be learned if we engage the students in different activities, in different co-curricular and curricular activities. Especially the co-scholastic qualities of the students could be best assessed when they are just they are involved in different co-curricular activities. Okay, and our college is a best example to understand, to study the the co-scholastic abilities of the children. When with the teachers, along with our principal, we engage you in different co-curricular activities, cleaning the campus, and also doing other activities, plantation, watering the plants. Okay, in this way, just creating social awareness in the society by doing some what the plastic awareness you started. All these are what? That means you involve yourself in different areas socially, so that so this is a kind of also test. This is a kind of test, but these are informal methods of testing the personality of the children. Then we will be discussing one of the important aspects, use of testing. Use of testing. Testing means the test may be an achievement test, may be an aptitude test, may be an intelligence test. Okay, many tests are there. Especially we're talking about the achievement tests of different forms. Achievement tests are of different types. Okay, that is achievement tests, diagnostic tests, and proficiency tests. Okay, achievement tests, diagnostic tests, and proficiency tests. Okay, achievement test. This is related to the achievement of the children. When we want to just know the achievement of the children, at that time we conduct the achievement test. The formative tests, the formative evaluation or assessment are done with the help of achievement test. The examination, it is a kind of summative assessment, but it is a kind of testing. We use the technique of testing techniques, so that the behavior of the students, the achievement of the students could be assessed very well. So friends, again we are going to discuss about the diagnostic test. There is a difference between diagnostic test and achievement test. Achievement test is just to know about the achievement of the students, how far the child has progressed, what is the very achievement of the child. But diagnostic test just emphasizes upon the emphasizes that diagnoses the learning difficulty of the children. In spite of several repeating, if the child is not able to understand, if the child just commits the same mistake again and again, then the teacher should not use the achievement test there. Rather, he should use the diagnostic test. And diagnostic tests are of is a different kind of test, and some sort of just technical knowledge, skill by the teacher is required to prepare the diagnostic tests. As a doctor diagnoses the diseases of the children, just patients, the teacher has to diagnose the learning difficulties of the children, and accordingly he has to just suggest some remedial measures. Okay, and then comes your proficiency tests. Proficiency, efficiency, aptitude, all these are related. Okay, proficiency test. If the child shows his or her ability in a particular area, we have to take the help of proficiency tests. Okay, proficiency tests. And these are the tests that really just determine the aptitude, the hidden quality, the inborn qualities of the students. Now, use of testing, achievement tests of different forms. Use of testing. Achievement tests of different form. There are many types of achievement tests. Okay, many types of achievement tests, and we have to take the help of those. For example, your unit test is a kind of achievement test. Your classroom formative evaluation, formative assessment during the classroom process, the teacher takes the help of the achievement test. Okay, it may be oral, it may be written. Okay, in this way, the teacher conducts different types of testing. So now you came to know about achievement tests, diagnostic tests, and proficiency tests. Now we'll be just focusing some light on some non-testing tools. Non-testing analysis of verbal and non-verbal activities, reflective journals, projects, portfolios. These are in your course. Okay, I have to just focus some light on these. Why do now? What is non-testing technique? For example, I want to study the very personality of the child. Okay, the mere achievement test won't help us. Achievement test helps us to know the achievement of the child in a particular subject area, particular area of the knowledge. But if I want to know, for example, the child is an introvert, how can I know? The child's personality is very much negative. How can I know? So I have to adopt different non-testing techniques here. Non-testing techniques. Non-testing techniques means those are the techniques. For example, projective techniques. Just giving some open questions. I love this. Okay, I love this. Whatever word, whatever sentence you want to know, you write. From these sentences, the teacher will be in a position to know the internal behavioral problem or internal behavior of the internal mind of the children. And this, if the teacher knows the internal condition, internal mind, that is the unconscious mind or the subconscious mind of the child, then teaching learning process will be more effective. One such test is, that is verbal methods, that is verbal and non-verbal activities. Verbal and non-verbal activities. Okay, the verbal tests, for example, interview is a verbal technique. Non-verbal methods, for example, in your intelligence test, there are some pictures are given, pictorial problems are given. This is a test, but this is not like your achievement test. Okay, and verbal means when we talk. Non-verbal means when we do not talk, and when we use symbol, letters, different pictures. With the help of these things, the teacher comes to know about the personality of the children, the achievement of the children. Then another is in your course, there is the reflective journals. Reflection means just thinking and ruminating and internalize, just speculating, thinking, internally thinking about something. For example, I finished my class. After 45 minutes, I came back to the common room, teacher's common room. Okay? And if I sit there and think, how was my class? What was the performance of the students? What were the responses of the students? Am I satisfied with my class? Or if not satisfied, then what were my mistakes? What were the wrong things that I did there? How could I just rectify those mistakes? If I sit in my common room and just go on thinking deeply about these past activities, about my class, okay, and write these things, write these matters in my diary, the diary becomes a reflective journal. Okay, reflective journal reflects the internal assessment of the teacher. Okay, internal assessment of the teachers. The teacher has to, accordingly, the students are to be also encouraged to write diary each and every day before sleeping. And in this way, those diaries would be of much help to the teacher to know the personality, to know the analysis that are going on in the internal mind of the child, so that the teacher will be in a better position to to say something, to say to analyze the behavior of the children, and also recommend very well for the children, for the development of the children. Then comes the projects. Project is a problematic act that are undertaken in a natural setting and intended to find a solution. The projects are not like the achievement test, not like the examination, half yearly examination. Projects are the practical activities conducted by the children themselves. Okay, and these projects will show that what is the very ability, skill of the child. Okay, whether the child has acquired only the just a theoretical knowledge or the practical knowledge. So the project would give the children a scope to show their skills. Okay, skills in different practical activities. But nowadays the projects are done by the parents, the elders, sometimes the teachers, the tutors of the children. They do the projects of the students, and the students just deposit those projects and get some marks in schools. But these are not actually the philosophy behind the giving of the project work. Projects should be maybe bad or good, that should be done by the students. And the students, if he just barely prepare it, then after some time, after some days, he will also just modify it and refine it. In this way, the refinement means, when the refinement starts, we say education starts. Okay. Then another thing is your portfolio. Portfolio means just assessing the performance of the children by just keeping the records of various achievements, performance, and activities of the children. For example, a child not only excels in academic field, but also does very well in debate competition, in essay competition, in song competition, in games and sports, in other activities, co-curricular activities, drama, study tour, and other activities, leadership qualities, all these things. And if the teacher keeps a record of these things with photographs, then if the teacher wants to study the behavior of the child after 6 months or 3 months or 1 year, then this is called portfolio. When we keep a record of the performance of the students in the school, this is called the portfolio. That means this is the record of the students' performance in different field, not only in the field of academics, not only in the academic field, but also in the co-scholastic area, in different co-curricular area. So portfolio just gives us a scope to assess the performance of the personality of the children in a better way. Use of multiple methods and tools, situation specific combinations. Now students, we discussed about what? We discussed about the scholastic, some testing techniques, non-testing techniques. In testing techniques, we discussed about the achievement test, diagnostic test, and other tests. Non-testing techniques, we discussed about your interview, taking notes, talking with the students, informal talks with the students, and also by reflective journals, projects, portfolio. All these are the activities. Besides this, there is a wide range of methods and tools that should be used by the teacher in the schools. And these are called the situation specific combinations. Okay? The teacher is the best assessor of the personality of the child. It is not that some tools will be available to him and then only he will study the behavior of the children. No, not like that. If he's a good assessor, then the teacher has to take the optimum help of the situation, and also in this way he will assess the behavior of the children. Another thing is your self and pure assessment techniques. Self and pure assessment technique. That means the behavior of the child is to be assessed by himself. The performance of the child, the achievement of the child will be assessed by the child himself or herself. And not only this, his or her behavior should be assessed by his or her peers. The peers are the best assessors for the child. So pure and self-assessment techniques should be also used. Another thing is your focused group discussion. FGD. Focused group discussion. For example, we want to discuss with our students about COVID-19. So in a classroom, we want to discuss about the COVID-19, and there will be a panel of experts, maybe physicians, doctors, or expert social workers, or economists, and administrators, educationists, psychologists. All the experts will be available in the classroom, and there will be discussion with the students. The experts will put forth their views, and in this way, there will be a fruitful discussion. And this discussion is known as focused group discussion. We focused our interest in a particular subject or content or matter, that is COVID-19. Okay, in this way, the teacher should do FGD, focused group discussion, in the classroom, taking various problems, economic problem, social problem related to the contents also, the subject area. In this way, it is known as focused group discussion. Then comes your rubrics. Another thing is rubrics. Rubrics are the standards or the yardsticks or the standards fixed by the teachers, so that this if the students are able to achieve that standards, then we can say yes, we have achieved our objectives. Okay, for example, if a class 1 child will be able to identify various parts of his body, okay, what is our rubrics here? Our rubrics means yardsticks or the standards. That means a child of class 1 will be able to just identify various parts of his body: eye, nose, tongue, ear, legs, heads. In this way, if he is able to do this, yes, then it is a rubric. We fixed a rubric. Rubrics means that means yardstick, fixing some standards, fixing some intentions, fixing some labels. For example, your objectives, behavioral objectives fixed at the initial stage of the teaching. You come to the class with some specific objectives. What are these objectives? These objectives are nothing but these are rubrics. The students, after going through this content or topic, will be able to know this, will be able to tell this, will be able to explain this. What are these? These are rubrics. These are fixed standards. If the students adopt those standards, then we say that the students they the teacher thinks that he has achieved his objective, and also the students also achieve their objectives. Okay. Then another thing I want to discuss, that is provision of feedback for students and parents. Okay, what is meant by feedback? Feedback means knowledge of the result. For example, I ask you some questions, and if you answer me, your answer may be correct or wrong, and you want to know, sir, whether our question answer is wrong or right. If I say your question is wrong, if I say your question is right, then this is a feedback to you. That means that is the knowledge of the result. You are having the knowledge of your result. You just give answers to my question, and also knew your result. This is a feedback. When the students appear the examination, they are keen to know their result. Keen to know their result, and this result is a feedback for them. Okay. Then it is not only feedback for the students but also for the teachers. Then role of community in CCA. Nowadays, community involvement is very much necessary for the CCA, and when you will be the teachers, you have to handle different, not only the curricular activities but also other activities, midday meals, taking students in study tour, in different activities, drama, annual drama, just doing some community work. Various works are to be done by the teachers inside the school. So in this way, the teacher has to be in close contact with the community, and the community should help assessing the scholastic and non-scholastic areas of the children. In this way, the students are perfectly assessed. So friends, I want to give you some time now to ask some questions. I just touched each and every aspect of this unit, assessment for learning. There are three terms: assessment for learning, assessment of learning, and assessment as learning. Assessment for learning means when the teacher is taking the class, when there is formation of the knowledge, formative tests are used, formative assessment is used. This is known as assessment for learning. That means it is an ongoing process, and there is scope for rectification, scope for modification of the behavior of the students. Assessment of learning means when after finishing your study, after 1 year or after 6 months, when you appear the examination, that is known as the final assessment. That is the final assessment, and that is known as your assessment yearly test, B.Ed first year students. Okay, that is the summative assessment. That is a kind of summative assessment. Assessment for learning relates to formative assessment. Assessment of learning relates to summative assessment. And assessment as learning means when the child just thinks that this is the score of his test, this is the score of his examination, and if his score is not satisfactory, he tries more and more, labors hard, and wants to excel, wants to surpass others. That means this assessment helped the child to be educated, to learn more and more. This is a kind of just the internal feelings, internal motivation is created by the help of the assessment in children, and they do the examination very well. So friends, now you may ask some questions to me relating to this topic. Yes. You may ask some questions, students. Soumya, if anybody wants to ask some questions, then yes, yes. Assessment test ଭିତରେ କଣ ପଚାରୁଛ ମାନେ କଣ କ୍ଲିୟର ହେଇପାରୁନି assessment अरे testing is a part of assessment ହେଲା କି there are many techniques testing techniques non testing techniques ହେଲା କି assessment ପାଇଁ testing ବି ଦରକାର non testing ବି ଦରକାର testing କଣ ଏଇ examination ଦେଲ B.Ed examination ଗୋଟେ ଦେଲ କି ତମର class ପରୀକ୍ଷା ଗୋଟେ ହେଲା that is testing okay non testing କଣ ତ ଯୋଉ observation କଲେ ଆମେ behavior of the students कि ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ ସାଇକୋଲୋଜିକାଲ ଟେଷ୍ଟ ଦେଲେ ଏଟା ହଉଛି ନନ୍ ଟେଷ୍ଟିଂ ଟେକ୍ନିକ୍ସ ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କ ସହ ଡିସ୍କସନ କରୁ ମୁଁ ବା ଅବଜର୍ଭେସନ କଲି ବିହେଭିୟର ଅଫ ଦି ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟସ୍ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଇଜ ନନ୍ ଟେଷ୍ଟିଂ ଟେକ୍ନିକ୍ସ ସୋ ଆସେସମେଣ୍ଟ ଭିତରେ within the assessment comes your testing and non testing techniques ହେଲା କି ଟେଷ୍ଟିଂ ନନ୍ ଟେଷ୍ଟିଂ yes ଆଉ କିଏ ପଚାରିବ କଣ anybody wants to ask questions Pratiksha is there, but she is not asking any question. Hello, Pratiksha.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Sir, I am fine. How are you, sir?
I am also fine. I am happy
Yes,
to
sir,
see you in. Yes.
Sir, everything is correct and well teached by you. Everything is every doubt is cleared by.
I hurriedly took the class because there are many items are there. Okay, many
Yes,
items
sir.
are there. Just you
Sir,
read those things.
Sir, I mean you have systematically finished all doubts and cleared all every aspect so which we need in our mind to appear for our exam.
Examples. I gave the examples also. But at the same time, you should know and also ask me in the next session if you have some doubts arising when you are going through the study
Yes,
materials.
sir.
Then you may ask. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Ritu. Hello, Ritu. Am I audible to you? If anybody, Jagannath. Jagannath. Hello. Priyanka. Hello. Soumya. Soumya, am I audible? If the others who want to ask question, then we will stop the session. Okay.
Hello.
Yes. Hello.
Hello, sir. I'm Rituparna.
Rituparna. Are you there?
Sir, actually there is network problem. That's why the voice is not audible clearly.
Oh.
Do
you want to ask some questions, Rituparna? Do you want to ask questions? Yes.
Yes, sir. My question is unit test and half-yearly test. Okay.
Yes.
Will they come under the formative assessment or summative assessment?
Unit test or the half-yearly test? Yes. If the half-yearly test is intended to, then generally half-yearly tests are done after just completing some units. Okay.
Yes.
And there is no scope for improvement of the students after this. The result of the half-yearly test won't help the teacher. for improvement. But in unit test, if the student does some mistakes, or if the student does not do good in the examination or test, then there is a scope for the teacher to improve the students. But in the half yearly test, there is no scope for the improvisation. And if there is no scope for the improvisation, then it is not a formative test. Formative assessment नुहे. एटा कौन? एटा summative assessment पड़ेला. Okay? Because summative assessments are just this will help us. जेमते गोटे माने हमर यूनिवर्सिटी रे हमर ये सिस्टम होची. कौन सेटा कहउची देबे सबु 3 मास को जोडा होची 4 मास को जोडा होची कोन सेमिस्टर सिस्टम पे मतलब हां सेटा होची तमरा समेटिव असेसमेंट देयर इज नो स्कोप फॉर द स्टूडेंट्स टू इंप्रूव बट इन ए क्लासरूम टेस्ट क्लासरूम रो क्वेश्चन पचारछे किबा क्लासरूम रो यूनिट टेस्ट करले देयर इज स्कोप एवरी स्कोप फॉर द टीचर और द स्टूडेंट्स टू इंप्रूव हला सेटा सर्टिफिकेशन पळे जिवो एटा okay anybody oh, thank you yes ମୁଁ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ कोन I am thinking seriously about the examination of the second year students ଏବଂ ସେମାନେ କିଛି ମତେ open book examination ର ଗୋଟେ जो ହେଇଛି कोठी और सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी ओडिशा कोरापुट ସେମାନେ कोन केमिति पठा जिवो कहिसंती I will just काली मु यूनिवर्सिटी संगे कथा वार्ता if possible तांकर सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट गाइडलाइन अनुसार करूचंती ओपन बुक एग्जामिनेशन मतलब परीक्षा 10 ରୁ 1 ହେବ 3 घंटा the question papers will be given to you before 1 hour हैला कि तुम घरे बस के तुम लिखिबो से क्वेश्चन पेपर रो इमीडिएटली ताको अपलोड करिवो ये WhatsApp रे अपलोड करिवो जो एड्रेस दिया आइतो एवं एटा सेकंड वीक चिंता करा जाउची आई डोंट नो हाउ फार इट विल विजिबल फॉर देम किंतु एटा आरंभ कर आज काली सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी ओडिशा कोरापुट जोटा हमर अछि सेठी से माने बीडी पे करचंती तेनो ई पॉसिबल आमे तांको पे करबा जदी भी हमर तमर कोर्स पे आमे चाहू छै मास में सारी जदी होय तो हम तमर तांको दियो कर दम कोन हेउची फास्ट तमर हो तांको लगी टाइम ही जाउछ तुम जुलाई होबा कथा लगी यस हु इज स्पीकिंग नाउ यस
हेलो
सुश्री सुश्री हाउ आर यू
फाइन सर हाउ आर यू
I am also fine and
I have a doubt on the rubric.
Are you physically right? Because during your college
yes sir I am very fine.
Barampur
yes sir
acha okay your photo doesn't come it is a indirect situation your photo should come
network problem
network problem okay
yes sir.
yes now you are visible now is very much visible and also good temperament and spirit. You may ask questions also.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I have a doubt on the rubric. What is the meaning of rubric and what should the uses of it?
Yes. Very nice question. I appreciate your question.
Thank you.
And this is a new term for most of the teacher trainees. Okay? Rubrics.
Yes, sir.
That means rubrics are the standards. Rubrics are the standards.
Yes, sir.
When you are going to take a class, you just fix some objectives, specific objectives. Okay? जे मो क्लास टा होई सला परे मो पिला माने will be able to do this, will be able to explain this, will be able to know this, will be able to just differentiate between this and this. What are these? So you are fixing some rubrics. Rubrics means just fixing some standards. एटा क्लास में कोई
exactly कहबल yes sir. Sir, actually I'm teaching.
Yes, teaching.
I'm teaching को गला समय रे हम जेमती knowledge understanding basic रे जो पार्ट करथिले thematic linguistic type रो तो सही परिका किछि पूर्वरु डिसाइड କରିଦେବେ ଯେ ଆମେ କୋଉ କୋଉ ଏଇମ୍ କୁ सक्सेस କରିବା
ନା এটা ক্লাসরুম কইলি গোটে ক্লাসরুম ର ରୁବିକ୍ସ ଫିକ୍ସ କଲ ବଟ୍ ଆଫ୍ଟର 6 year ନା ସରି
ଆଚ୍ଛା
6 month ପରେ ପଢି ସାରିଲା ପରେ what should be the standard of the children ଆମେ ଆଗରୁ ଫିକ୍ସ କରି ରଖିବା if these ମାନେ for example there are ଆମର ଇଂଲିଶ ରେ କଣ ଅଛି 4 language skills ଅଛି ମାନେ the children will be
Yes,
able
sir.
to speak correctly write correctly